The first game that I ever bought with my own money when I was a little kid was Tekken 2. I remember it was cheap because Tekken 3 had just come out and I liked the look of the cover art. That was it. I was a kid. When I got home and played it, I loved it. Even now, although I am still only a casual player at best, if you were to ask me what my favourite fighting game franchise is, I would still say Tekken. I enjoy some of the others, but Tekken is always my favourite, and that is where it started. However, I didn't play the original Tekken because that came out in Europe when I was only 4, and I was just a little too young to play that. Also didn't have a PS1 for a couple of years. I always wondered what the game was like because I missed it. So today it seems like a great time to finally find that out myself. So without further ado, let's get into our Tekken playthrough. Firstly, I was happy to discover that it still had the same basic controls. Yoshimitsu though, his design leaves something to be desired. I'm used to him looking so cool, but this look isn't it. He plays basically as I remember though, so I can handle him quite well. Getting through the standard enemies wasn't too difficult, although I'll cover each individual character when I play as them, except for the bosses. Our sub-boss for this round is Ganryu, a character I have fought and played as before, but it's not one I really know that well. I didn't find him too hard to beat because he was slow and cumbersome. Also, the AI in this game, which I hesitate to call AI because it's pretty unintelligent, proves to be quite predictable quite quickly. Heihachi though, he is also quite predictable, but it took some time to work it out, and also his moves are really powerful. It took almost as much time to beat him as it did to beat the rest of the enemies combined. We see Yoshimitsu's end scene, which is him riding through the slums, sharing the money with people who have some of the worst animated faces I've ever seen. Is that lore? With that done, we move on to Nina. Unlike Yoshimitsu, she is recognisable. Unfortunately, I don't really use it that much, so I don't know her moves very well. But the computer, I refuse to call it an AI anymore, is not smart, so we get them. Her unique sub-boss is Anna, her sister, which was what I expected. They both basically have the same moveset, the only difference is the computer actually knows the moveset. With that I beat Heihachi and see the final cutscene, which is Nina stealing Anna's shoe and then slapping her. Right. Whatever. Moving right along to lore, and what is up with that face? He's like permanently shocked. The design is good otherwise, but that face, I'm happy it looks better in Tekken 2 onwards. Lore was one of my favourites in the original games, so I enjoy playing as him. His sub-boss is Wang, who I always assumed was a later game character, but I'm learning. Got a bit of a nasty punch to him, but nothing I can't handle with Heihachi done too. We see Lore, for the first time, looking normal. Next up, Kazuya. Not my favourite Mishima to play as, that would be Jin or Heihachi, but he's still a fun one and he's got that Mishima power. His sub-boss is Lee, and this is the first time I get introduced to the bot doing something that's just spamming the same move over and over. I mean, what even was this? Fortunately, he doesn't do that again, and I beat him. After defeating Heihachi, he dropped him off a cliff. I guess that's one way to kill him. Now it's Paul. Not one of my favourites, but still a great classic character. I did make some effort trying some of his better moves, but I was never great with him. His sub-boss is Kuma, and oh, it took a while. Kuma looks less like a bear and more of a man in a bear suit, and his moveset is a rip-off of Jack. When he stands up from like a sort of crushing move, he actually stands up like a robot, like it's a full-on rip-off. Like Jack though, he's the tough one to beat. Heihachi was much easier, and Paul celebrates by punching a wall. As you do in life. Jack's moves might be a nightmare, but now I get to play as him. Jack 2 is my favourite character in Tekken 2 when I recently played it. I'm not a fuss with the Jacks now, I don't tend to play with them as much, but it's still fun. His boss was just prototype Jack, which I wasn't surprised by, but I'll admit to being a little disappointed about. I would have liked it to be someone entirely different. Looks like we're going to be dealing with a lot more Jacks in the future though. Only a couple more major characters to go, and this time it's King. Now we're on one of my favourites. Doesn't mean I'm any good with him though. Takes longer than I would like to beat the sub-boss, the even cooler Armor King. I didn't even care this took a while, I was just happy to unlock him. Apparently King celebrates by visiting a school, and they used real kids in this animation. It looks horrible. It's not even like a graphics thing, it's just a bad decision at the time. Few games tried this, it never worked. Michelle was the final one, and not one I know well, as she doesn't appear after Tekken 2, aside from the tag tournament game that I haven't played. I enjoy going through with her, even though her moves aren't really anything special. Her sub-boss is Kunimitsu, who, in terms of how she plays, she's a Yoshimitsu clone, so I don't really have much to add. I like how she plays, but because I like Yoshimitsu. Now, I did go through as the sub-bosses, all of which you unlock after beating them and beating the game, but there isn't a ton of point in me going through these because we didn't get anything special. This was just sort of another round through. There wasn't even a cutscene afterwards. There is also the ability to unlock and play as Heihachi, but after talking to a friend who has perfected this game and finding out exactly what you have to do, I decided against it. It's a lot of work. It's very hard, and I didn't need all that stress to play as a character I've already played as in every other Tekken game I've ever played. So that was Tekken. And how did I find the game? Mixed. Did I enjoy myself? Yes. Am I happy I did it? Yes. Would I recommend it to other people? Maybe. I'm not sure. I enjoy playing it because I always wondered about it, and I do appreciate the characters in Tekken. But it had its issues. The bot was either really predictable or really brutal. Sometimes spamming moves to such an extent, you can't even stand up. That made it frustrating. Furthermore, outside of the basic arcade mode, there is nothing. It's just an arcade game. Which, yes, I know a lot of the game modes came later, but in terms of recommending it to people, it is something to keep in mind. There is the one mode. So if that doesn't necessarily interest you that much, or if you want more from a game, maybe this isn't for you. I would say that if you have a lot of nostalgia for Tekken, as I do, or you're a big Tekken fan, or you're a big fighting game fan, then I'd give this a go. I mean, it's a piece of history, and it's the start of a series that is still going to this day. I recently played and finished Tekken 8. If you're more of a casual fan, though, maybe not. In terms of classic Tekken games, if you want to play one of them, 2 and 3 are just much better examples of classic fighting games. So that was Tekken. And I want to take some time to thank you for watching. I will definitely be playing Tekken 2 and 3 someday. I need to just for nostalgia. But for now, I think I'm going to head back into Minecraft. After all, I said there'd be a new quality of life update. I promised that, and I haven't made it yet. So now's the time to do it. And I'll see you then.